What is or what are the differences in between the CLI and the ESP? As per our content, the CLI is the common language runtime, and the ESP is the stored procedure. Both of them, they are stored procedures. Both of them, they are stored procedures. The first distinction why we're giving them two different names, common language runtime and the stored procedure. The point is that the stored procedure is a stored procedure. It's a procedure that has a process without any return, and it is to be stored in the front end API, in the whatever the API you're using. And the CLI, it is also a stored procedure, but it is to be called during the runtime, and it is to be stored, developed, and implemented and stored in the back end system or mechanism or engine. Simply, both of them stored procedures. SP, the stored procedure, is the stored procedure to be stored in the front end API, called anytime required. The CLI, it's stored procedure to be called during the runtime and to be implemented, to be means invoked and called during the runtime only, and because it needs variables and variants with inputs, they might be provided during the runtime only, and to be stored in the back end, not in the front end, back end in the SQL Server or something like that. Simply. So you do not need all of this time. You might have answered the question actually saying two stored procedures with one first and very clear difference, which is SP to be stored in the front end, and the CLI to be called during the runtime and stored in back end. Simple. So we continue, and I'll be going step by step. If you have any doubt or any point to be that you need to clarify again, just point to that, please. By the way, before I go on, the purpose behind of the TSQL enhancement, see the title of the unit we are in, TSQL enhancement. Here, the purpose here, we can see it here, security deployment, or the prerequisite of this unit is the secure coding. The secure coding means you are going to write secure code, what we are going to implement using the TSQL, or the features we are going to add using the TSQL, the transact SQL. It's a matter of secure code. It means here the point gets raised. Is there any possibility to implement what we are willing to implement without using the TSQL? Means directly using SQL only, using queries only? The answer definitely yes. The answer is yes, we can, and there are other possibilities. And it used to be solved. Similar cases used to be solved without referring to the TSQL or without integration of the TSQL. So what is the purpose behind of this TSQL? It's very clear. Secure coding, and we said it so many times. And just I'm raising up the point here, and just I'm raising up the point here. Just let me write it to make you understand what I'm saying only. So here I'm going to say here the secure coding. It's a matter of secure code in the context here. The purpose behind of this TSQL is the secure code, no more no less. So you are willing to implement the TSQL transaction, which is having one or many queries that you can solve simply, just passing the queries simply. That's it. So what is the purpose of using this or integrating this TSQL? The secure code. What does mean secure code? The secure code means actually we are going to deny inferences. We are going to stop any unwanted interception to secure and guarantee information assurance. Information assurance means to be certain that what has been sent is the one what has been received, and the vice versa. What has been responded, it is the one received, yes, in response, so on. So secure coding. Because all of those terminologies here, they are defined and techniques that we will refer to better implement solutions. It is to implement in a better way the solutions. It's not the unique way to solve the problem or to bring solutions. No, it is to bring better solutions, better in terms of, yes, guaranteeing and assuring results, and better in other terms, which is bringing solutions in shorter time and less memory consumption. Can you repeat this prerequisite and refresh and the summary given to you, please, about this TSQL enhancement? Can you just repeat this definition, please? Are you able to reconceive it? Is it clear for you?
Yes, Mister.
Yeah, great. So great. This is what I want you to do. So I continue. It's done. Immediately, yes, I'm going through the types and the valued parameters as an example. Okay, great. Great. So, okay, let's have a look at this example and we continue from here. So, we haven't actually the chance to implement transactions differently. Actually, to make, as per the example you are seeing here, to make this is actually a solution to a request. To make a transaction and update a store, it is two activities to do. Traditionally, we used to, our systems used to pass the transaction and then after pass the second query, which is to update the store. In the sense of, for example, a customer came to a supermarket and the supermarket has a system. The system will calculate whatever the customer has bought, provides the total, and then after updates the stock with the new availabilities. Two activities to do. Two activities to do. So this is the habitual transactions that used to happen. Actually, this is the way how systems used to behave. Nowadays, no. Nowadays, in the sense of because of the TSQL enhancement, because of the TSQL capabilities, we can guarantee because such a behavior here, it is presenting a big security flaw, which is if any issue happens after calculating the, let's say, providing the, yes, the product and forbidding the update of the store, the system is stuck there. So the store or the stock will not be updated, and this is a problem. The system will indicate that there are still available products while it's not. So there is a big flaw in the system, in the traditional systems actually. But nowadays, no. What we can see here, because not only this unique, this is actually due to the enhancement of the TSQL. What you can see is that such a process, such a solution can be solved using one unique, let's say, transaction. Yes, using the TVPs, using the table valued parameters. We just generate variables responsible for defining the architecture of the entities to update, which are two entities, yes, the product and the stock, whatever the names are, whatever the names are here. Let me maximize the view. Yes, so whatever the here the entities are, so we declare using types, table valued, the table types that they represent the architecture of the entities to update, And based on that, we pass the queries we want. This is just one transaction. This is one either to fail or to succeed. It is Fox 12, please here. It is one transaction. All what we are seeing here is one transaction. But what it is doing, it is updating two entities, two different entities. It is not two queries. It is not the point that it is pointing to queries. No, it is pointing to entities at the same time, either to succeed both or to fail both. You see the different talk here? The traditional systems, one transaction might succeed, another might fail. So in the traditional systems, yes, one transaction might succeed, another transaction might fail. Yes, yes, because of this, because they are not related 100%. They are in the process, they are related, yes, but technically they might fail. Actually, this relationship might fail the relationship. But using the TVPs, the relationship never fails. Using the TVPs, the relationship never fails. In the sense of, if one portion has been failed, means the full transaction has failed. So the full request is failed. So the two transaction the two queries, let's say, they fail without any doubt. But if one succeeds, the second one has to succeed. The second one has to succeed. Is it clear, please? Is it clear for you, please?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, great. So great.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, yes, great. Okay. In the same scenario here, uh, we said that we solved an issue using the TVPs, yes, and we are able to guarantee and show information and transactions. It's a better scenario. It's a better way how to implement transactions. Absolutely, but there are issues that you cannot cover so far using the TVPs, and we do not have the right to do due to some restrictions. And most of those are actual limitations. And most of them that is that we cannot modify the architecture of an entity. Means the alta query is not to be passed. The alta query, this is a query actually, the alta. It is not to be passed using the TVPs, and it will not be executed. We cannot alter an entity. Means we cannot add a field. We cannot delete a field, either one or many, in an entity. We cannot neither add nor delete fields in an entity. So here means here in the queries section, we will not be able to pass alta, give it a name and so on. No, we cannot. It will not. It will not go. Yes, this is a limitation. Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, it is a security point that guarantees that entities are being safe and sane. Because if it is the case, those transactions might be actually intercepted, and if the case happens, entities will be hacked. So it is not good to pass such sensitive query within a very isolated transaction. Data types, actually, data types like the types we can define as a user-defined type. User-defined types means the types we defined earlier, or the table types, they are all user-defined types. The SQL Server environment has introduced 4 specific data types. They are for the SQL Server only, and they are recognized for the SQL within the SQL Server environment only also. 4 specific activities and dedicated activities within the SQL Server itself. Saying the date, the time, the date to, and the offset. All of them, they are specific to the SQL Server. This is to facilitate the work with the data once you are inside the SQL Server, to help you go with a specific presentation of the data, no more, no less. Yes, and when defining the types and those data types, also there is a chance to create specific data types, and there is a chance to just indicate the way how to declare actually types and how to use those types within a variables or variants is by just declaring them this way. So you use the declare keyword. This is the keyword, and you indicate that the variable you are defining is a variable with an arrobas. You precede it with an arrobas, with a not. Simple. And you specify the data type you want. So you have to respect the syntax. You have to respect this syntax. Okay. Let's take an example of 2 entities. It's the same example we were talking earlier. And we'll talk about a new transaction that we are going to present today, which is the merge statement. The example we were discussing earlier is it's an order to pass for a list of products. So once succeeded, the order has been passed, the stock has to be updated. It's a must. If a customer comes and to a shop and he buys product number 1 unit, product number 2 10 units, and product number 3 5 units, for example, the stock has to be updated with a deduction of 1 unit from product 1, 10 units from product 2, 5 units from product 3, and so on. Whatever has been bought or whatever has been sold, it has to be updated in the system, in the stock entities in the stock. Yeah, because it's no more available. The system has to be updated, and in this way. To do so, it is not a matter of passing queries here, because those are two activities. They are correlated, and they have to either succeed together or fail together. Say selling a product means updating the stock. Buying a product also updating the stock, either in incrementation or in decrementation, either to add or to yes, reduce. They're correlated. So the statement here, or let's say the transaction will pass, is a merge. Yeah, we're going to merge. We're going to make a merge because we are going to buy a product, and it's the same product we are going to manipulate in the stock, either to add or to delete or to reduce means. The example here is talking about, let me just maximize the view. I'll explain it. Okay. Let me just bring it to front. Okay. We are having 2 entities. The stock and the trade. Means here is what is available in the market, in the shop, and here what is the transaction to happen, to sell or to buy. So the purpose is we are having products the same, they are available in the stock. What we are going to sell or to buy They have to be available in the stock, isn't it? So it is, yes. So customer cannot buy, for example, milk if it's not available in the stock. Customer cannot buy sugar if it's not available in the stock. You cannot buy a car from an agency if they do not have it. Very easy, very simple. So there has to be a correlation between those two entities. What you are going to do, either to buy or to sell, it is 100% related to the stock. If the stock has enough quantities from whatever you are asking, or yes, it can receive what you are going to buy, yes, so we can update. Otherwise, there will be another trigger or another exception to handle. We are having actually here, if you can see very well, the stock, we are having two products only. We are having the ADVW and the BYA product, whatever the names are. We don't care because it's not mandatory to be whatever. This is product number one and this is product number two. This is what we have in the stock only. This system, the stock has only those two products. That's it. Simple. The selling, the activity, the transactions, the deal with the customer has three products. The same ADVWBYA, the same they are available, plus a new product which is NWT, a new product. The system has bought 5 units from ADVW. The system has sold 5 units from this BYA, and the system has bought 3 units from this NWT. What does it mean? The system has to increment increment the stock with 5 units. The system has to decrement, reduce the stock with 5 units from this BYA. He has to reduce 5 units from this product. And the system has to add the new product to the stock with the quantity 3. Simple like that. So this is the behavior. This is what this system has to do, and this is what the transaction merge will do. This is what we are going to explain and start from next class, inshallah. Stop at this level. I'll take the attendance and I'll give you the record and just right after.